Oh, hello. Uh, one of my... No, what was I gonna say? One of my... Uh, one of my what? Oh, give me a minute. Okay, let's see. Sorry. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. One of my, someone I know, uh, I guess, I didn't even know. But I don't really know what's going on, or what went on, but that doesn't matter. Uh, close buddy, so I'd like to, and I don't like it when my close buddies are sad, so I thought I'd make this in order to possibly make her feel better, or to just make other people feel better, because maybe they'll be like, oh, his life's a little shittier than mine, or I'm not alone, or whatever, so buddy, I guess, had a relationship issue. I don't really know the details of the relationship. That's not really what matters. What matters is that she was hurt, and I don't know the circumstances. I didn't really ask. Um, but of co- um, but of course, I'm here, and this video is about mine. Cause oh God. Now, technically, I haven't really been in a real relationship, really. It's really just a dates, and I guess one of them's a relationship, but I'll start in order of the three. Um, I, so I'll go with the first story, the second, and the third. They're all separate, and they all sucked ass. Well, for the most part. So my freshman year in high school, I was technically a private school. There's only like 60 something kids in the school, so you kind of had to deal with everyone. Well, at least in the high school, it's kind of a weird school, hard to explain, but 60 kids basically. Um, so like I don't know, it was on field day, and some like chick, she was a senior. Um, she asked me out in kind of one of those weird, annoying ways, kind of like you get their friends to text you and then and then they ask you out. It was really weird. But she was a senior and I was a freshman, mind you. And yeah, that's kind of weird, I guess, in the sense like why would a senior ask out a freshman? Yeah, I didn't really care about her, and quite frankly, I didn't even know. But yet she asked me out, and I thought, hey, well maybe I've never dated anyone before in my life, so maybe I'll do this. And so I did. I said yeah, and the thing is everyone says she's a slut, and I knew she had a past, but I love to give people the benefit of the doubt, and that's probably a problem of mine. I can't, if someone asks me out, I might say no, but if I'm interested, I'm not just gonna be a dick and say no just because of what people might say about you. I'm not gonna do that. That's not right. So I said yes. We planned to meet on a weekend, that weekend coming up, and we were just gonna basically, I think, see a movie and have some pizza. That's what I thought. Um, but no, she asked me. She told me where we're meeting up. We were meeting at some dude's house who I know. I don't really hang out with him anymore. Not my kind of crowd. Basically what happened was we just sat there, and they were all smoking weed. I don't smoke anything, so uh, I was kind of uncomfortable. I mean, being around people that smoke weed, I guess that's not gets me uncomfortable. I guess it is because I'm like they give you weird looks and it gets kind of awkward, and I don't see anything wrong with it, but whatever. But no, what makes me uncomfortable is like the smoke in general makes me really nauseous, and I don't like being around it. But I put up with it, and and then I said, well, hey, Michelle, do you want to go and see that movie now? And she was looking at me all weird, and I was like, "Oh, what?" And she as if like we like as if like she never asked me out, which kind of pisses me off. She made a little bit because she's like making it look like pretending like she never said anything, and I hate it when girls do that. They just use the excuse like, "Oh, I forgot when you did it like the day before." Like, no, you fucking bitch. You're not that stupid. This is why men make dumb women jokes. Don't fucking bullshit. Just be straight up. Fuck you. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, and then like eventually we did leave because they wanted us to leave. So I was like, all right. So, and we were walking, and then we pass her house, and she's like, "Oh, I just need to go do a couple things because my cousins are over, and then I'll be right over." So I was like, "Okay." So I went over to the pizza place, which wasn't that far. And what happened was I sat there for a fucking hour. So I sat there for an hour. Um, she did texted her. She didn't really text me back, and that really pisses me off when people don't respond, especially when I know they're fucking near their phone and we're supposed to hang out. And anyways, she never came. And that didn't aggravate me. What aggravated me is I drove a couple towns away to go there because my parents are divorced, so I used to see my dad's on the weekend. My dad had to drive me over back to my town, so I was like, to see her. So, and my dad was working too, mind you. So he put a lot of risk to do it for me. It was just aggravating. But the fact that she just basically stood me up and she was the one that asked me out, I was like, I don't care. Stupid cunt. Whatever. There are so many of you out there. So I acted all cool and pretended as if nothing happens. I told some people, like, oh, and they're like, oh, what a bitch. And you're like, okay. But then after that, I did, like, it's not the fact that she stood me up and was a complete bitch that bothered me. It was what I heard after and the fact that it was all true. She didn't deny it. She fucked another guy. Her cousins weren't even there. She just fucked some guy. And I was warned. I was warned that this girl is a party hoe. Basically she goes and all she does is party, drink, smoke. And I knew that. I knew that. And I don't know why I said yes. It's probably because I never dated anyone, so I was like, oh, okay, I was stupid. I just wanted to know what it was like, and now that was my first date. I get stood up by a girl that asked me out because she felt like going fucking some other guy. I really don't like people like that at all. And it really got to me. But that's not what got to me the most. What got to me the most is that, like, I noticed a lot of people asked her out after the fact that I was out of the picture. And it just makes me think, like, and some of these people were like, oh, the people tell me, oh, she's a bitch anyways, that asked her out after. It just made me think, like, what's wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Like, you start asking yourself these questions, like, am I going to be alone forever? Am I, like, am I just completely unlikable as a person? Did I do something wrong? But that wasn't it. I know there was nothing wrong with me. No, there wasn't. The problem is that she wasn't really that attractive, but to the eyes, from my opinion. But if you're attractive to the eyes of many males, then you're just gonna get asked out. That's just how it works, for the most part, at least. Um, and it's difficult because it's difficult. And I'm not trying to be sexist, but it's the reality. It's difficult to be a guy, and because with the American culture and the expectations that us teenagers bring upon each other, like, oh well, oh I'm not a liar. I've never kissed a girl. I've never actually done anything. Well, I did reach second base, but that was by accident, and it wasn't consensual, and no, it wasn't forced upon. It was accident. Um, and I'll just say this: because of what happened, I got the term "Mitch slap." That's all you need to know. Uh, but like, yeah. Anyways, it got me so insecure. It wasn't her. It was just the fact that, like, oh, why aren't girls asking me out if I'm such a great guy? Because, like, they were saying, oh, I feel so bad for you. You'll find the greatest girl someday. And I was like, oh, whatever. I didn't really care anyways. But then what got to me was when the fact that they said that. It's like, think, why aren't girls lining up for me, but they're lining up for this cunt? And that just got to me for a while, and it got me so insecure. But whatever the reason may be, that it doesn't matter. I realized that doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that since then, her every single one of her relationships have failed, and I'm just not the type of person that can deal with like just breaking up with that many people. That's terrible. Um, so my lesson learned from that is that you don't want to date someone that everyone clearly says is a slut. Give her the benefit of the doubt if you don't know, but if you do know and you've heard of that their history, which is true, I'd probably stay away from them. Yeah, I'd say so. So yeah, that left me hurt for a little while. For a few months actually, I felt like I was down in the dumps, all alone, all over again. Feeling like I'm gonna be forever alone. So I was like, all right. And so my second, this was like the only, I guess, relationship I'd say out of all of them. It was actually on my little, I met this person online actually. Uh, yeah, we were just, it was kind of weird. I met her in a little drawing chat room I made, and so like you can draw and doodle. I fucking love doing that. It's so fun. It gives me more of a reason to talk because it's easier for me to convey how I'm feeling through drawing. So I always liked that little feature that some programs had. But anyways, I don't know. It's just like she really was direct about it. I mean, I kind of knew her for a couple of days before she asked me to be her girlfriend, and we lasted a few months. Like, it was a click. But I guess what led to the downfall of this relationship is two key factors. A, the word love, and B, the distance. So A, love, this is just what everyone does, and when people do this, and when I see people do this in a relationship, it kind of just gets to me. Like, at least when I see people do it that, like, barely know each other. And she said she loved me a lot, and it kind of, I didn't love her back. Like, love for me, love it, like, I don't believe in love at first sight. It's just, no, I don't know for a fact that love at first sight just doesn't exist. It's impossible for it to even exist. That's called attraction. It's called based on your visual, or it's based off visuals. It's based off what you may know of the person or something. But it doesn't mean anything. So, and I didn't really like saying I love you back and I did, but I felt like shit because I was lying. I'm like, oh, I love you too, but I don't. I mean, I just, the L word is very scary to me. It's because I don't like to lie to people. B, I don't want them to think I'm thinking less of them. It's just I don't know you well enough to say that, hey, I love you. It's just, I think there needs to be a chemistry that builds up between myself and the other person for me to like totally say I love someone. But it's so difficult because love is such a simple, like easily used word by even people who aren't in a relationship, or easily used with like in family and everything. It's just something that we just say, oh, I love you. But the problem is that it's also probably one of the most powerful words. Like if you don't love someone, it kills them. Like I don't get that. That always bothers me. And so if I were to date you and I didn't love you, it's not because I can't, just because I don't yet. Love is just something that comes over time, to me at least. It's just, and the problem is when you say you love someone early in a relationship, it's easier to get broken because you're building trust way too early, and it's just so easy to get broken. Luckily that didn't happen. We were together for a few months, but then the problem was I was getting busier because, I'm an honor roll student, so I like to keep my grades like from 80s and up. So, I'm busy and I'm working and I'm an artist and I'm working on a lot of stuff within school and within my own time. And it's like, I'm trying to be with her as much as I can, but she was asking me why I was staying away from her. Like, that's not what I'm doing, you know. I want to say she was being clingy, but, you know, I kind of get it. Like, and when you get that close, and again, love, when you say you love someone, they kind of like, you want to actually be with them, and then the distance just becomes like, it kills you a little bit. And to be honest, like, it was killing me a little too. It wasn't satisfying me. And you know, I probably would have been satisfied if I could talk to her more. But it just, I was gonna break it off because I thought this isn't right. She's not happy, and the only time she is happy is when she's with me. And I'm not with her that much. You know, it's only like for a couple hours every 2 days or so. That's not enough, I guess. I felt bad, but that's just how it was. So, but I couldn't do it. I'd never have broken up with anyone. I was like, I can't do this. But luckily she did it. But the good news is that since then, we've been like best friends, internet buddies forever. Um, I Skype with her all the time. I have her on Facebook. The ARC program we did shut down, so we don't do that anymore. But I have her on a new one, but it's like, yeah, we don't do that much. We usually video on Skype or something. We're just good friends. I mean, she's doing great. She has a boyfriend now. You know, life is going well for her, and I think us breaking up was probably a good thing. You know, I don't think what we had wasn't real. It just didn't work. It could have, but we didn't do it at the right time. And then later after that, it was like a month later, I was taking art courses at college. I'm not a college student. It was just like a vacation thing. You know, high school students can like enroll, you know, that sort of thing. Go to colleges and stuff. And I met some girl there. She was a really timid, shy girl. And it was only a week. It was basically building your portfolio for college. And you know, we made a lot of great pieces. And you know, we're all together for only a week, so we try to make the most of what we can. Um, so you know, I got her number, and after that week, and then we hang out like a couple weeks later. Um, and I just went over her house. We painted, we doodled together. It was fun. But the problem with this girl was she was really shy, and it was really awkward with her to have a conversation. Not because, and I don't mind awkwardness in a relationship. It's never, like, even if you're best friends and then you start dating, it's going to be awkward at first because it's really the hardest part to really find out about one another. Um, but, you know, it was just, it's not the fact that it was awkward, it's the fact that she was really shy and really timid about it. It took her a lot to even invite me over to her house. And I, I was the one to always text her, and it's not because she didn't like me, because she was the one that invited me. But after I left, I just never texted her back because I thought, I was telling myself, you know, maybe finally she can text me, but it's just not how it works. Some people are just so nervous. Like I'm like that sometimes. I don't text people because I feel like, oh, I'm annoying, or maybe they won't like me, or you know, something, I don't know. But it's some people just can't change like that. So I do kind of regret not texting her back because it's not really her fault for being shy. Uh, but that's just how it was. So yeah, basically what I learned from these three things. Obviously, I'm not really like, obviously not sexually or in really relationship wise that experienced at all, really. But what I learned from these is that you, if you're a teenager and you're dating, whether a relationship is good or bad, you're both too immature to do it correctly. And what I mean by that is like, you know, you're just, you go on through hormone phases. Like, I have mood swings all the time. Like, I can't control them. I just sometimes, and the best way for me to control them is just to vent to someone instead of getting pissed. I just need to vent. I need to let those emotions that I've been building up out to someone. And that's been working lately. Just telling people how I feel and getting some assurance or getting some reality checks, you know. Um, it's just, admittedly, I am too mature to date anyone and expect to get something out of it. I'm not saying like I could like you right now. I'm not saying, I wouldn't date you, but it just might not be a good time. And I just think now it's just not a good time. I'm just not good at that sort of thing. To admit, you know, life's tough and life can be difficult. And another thing is just like it gets to the point, especially with my online one. I mean, we're actually talking about hanging out just as friends. Just since we became such great friends. But still, good things do come out of these sort of things. That's the truth. But I think when you're young, in high school at least, I don't think you should get too attached to anyone. I think because someone's gonna break it off. Someone is, especially if it's like a senior, junior, or senior, sophomore sort of relationship where they're gonna go to college next year. Trust me, they're usually a lot of people are assholes. Most people, there is that one in a million where they will not like fucking be scummy and leave you because they're hotter chicks in college or something. But that's the reality of it. And I guess what I learned out of all this is just if you are in a relationship, I think you need to think to yourself, how upset should I get over this? How far am I willing to go for this person? How long am I willing to wait? How long am I willing to deal with this? Deal with whatever it may be, whether it be A, distance, B, their poor grades and the fact that they can't see you, or anything like that. Whatever flaw they have, are you willing to deal with that? Whatever situation they're in, are you willing to deal with that? I think if you can accept someone's problems, then I feel like that is what love is. But sometimes some people's problems are just you can't stop them, and you'll have to deal with them. And of course, there are some problems that you don't want to fucking deal with, like fucking someone cheating on you. Fuck you. but, but yeah, I don't know. I just did this because I wanted to. I don't know. It's because when my buddy went through that problem, it just came to my mind. So yeah, shitty vlog today. It's way overlonged. I'll be surprised if anyone watches this whole thing. I'm supposed to be doing fucking homework. I just don't feel like it right now. Probably do it later. I'm an honor roll student, so fuck you. My ego will do the homework for me. Alright, well, have a good one.